Welcome everybody. Today we are looking at TecQuipment's SM1000 Universal Testing Machine. This is a 10-ton capacity machine or 100 kilonewton capacity. We'll look at the major components of this setup. So first of all, we have our hydraulic pump. This is a method of applying the load to the ram. This is our working area here. Normally this would be behind a guard, but for today's demonstration or walkabout, we're going to leave the guard left off. So this is our area here. We have first of all our compression area here. So the kind of tests that can be conducted in there are a Brinell test, a double shear test, a cupping test. We can also look at springs. That can be a coil spring, a disc spring or a leaf spring, as well as customers being able to do their own compression tests on concrete, etc. So that's the compression area. This area here is our tensile testing area. So by default, we supply with this machine some tensile specimens where students can stretch the specimen by applying a load via the pump, and they will be able to look at our classic Hooke's law graph of load against extension, and that will be an elastic and then a yield point and then a plastic shaped graph. We have a local digital load display measuring the applied load via the ram, a digital Vernier gauge, and that will measure the overall deflection, or in this case extension of the specimen, and the system is fully compatible with TecQuipment's proprietary VDAS software. This can accurately gather data either automatically or by hand, and the students can then plot their graphs in Excel format of load against extension, etc. And it provides a very accurate and convenient way of storing data and being able to record it at a later date for analysis. So to conduct a simple tensile experiment, we would mount our specimens with these two collet arrangements there. We have a digital Vernier gauge that sticks via magnet to the top yoke, and when that yoke moves up, the readout in millimeters will provide how much deflection the yoke has travelled. The ram is powered by this hand pump, and the main advantage of a hand pump is during the elastic to plastic part of your graph, you sense feedback through your arm, and without even looking at the experiment, you know when you've reached that yield point, and you can feel the load weakening or lessening whilst it's still extending. For further tests and for greater accuracy, we can fit an extensometer, and that measures a very small and accurate deflection of the gauge length. This will introduce the students to Young's modulus, and that can be either calculated from the available data, or you can use the VDAS graph, and within the elastic region, just by calculating the gradient, this will tell the user what the Young's modulus is of this material. Now the SM1000 is also compatible with TecQuipment's DefleX system, and this is a system that allows to monitor and observe and track small movements of the specimens, in which case this is the typical specimen. We can offer this in a two-dimensional version which uses one video camera, or a three-dimensional version which uses two digital video cameras. So with TecQuipment's three-dimensional version of DefleX, this is particularly interesting because we can actually observe a color map of the gauge length, and we can also see slight imperfections in the material as we conduct the test. So it should be mentioned that for whatever test you are performing, whether it be tensile or compression testing, it is essential that we make use and fit the safety guard. And that is a magnetic guard that simply sits on the frame and then moved into position like so. And this must be fitted before any test is carried out. So these machines, or this particular machine, exists in the first instance because for future engineers or in the design of automotive parts, could be half shafts, drive shafts, or even in civil engineering, it is very important to understand the material properties of the components that you're going to consider to use in the design of such applications. And this SM1000 gives a very good introduction, whether we're testing mild steel with different carbon contents, nylon, aluminium or brass.